to welcome you to another vlog. She's so cute. Today I'm so excited because we are going to be reading more books from the Women's Prize Longlist. We're about to read 4 different books from the Women's Prize Longlist in this vlog, and I'm so excited to do this vlog with you. This is the second of the Women's Prize Longlist vlogs, and I'm already also filming the third one, so I'm doing it so well in terms of this challenge. She's settling back in. So I'm very excited. The first book that I'm going to be reading for this vlog is going to be The Maiden by Kate Foster. I actually started this book before, so I'm going to catapult you back in time now to when I first started reading this book. I'm about to head out on a walk and start off the first book for this vlog, which is going to be The Maiden by Kate Foster. And I recognise this book, but I hadn't heard much about it, so I'm excited to jump in. I believe it's a historical fiction, and it's about a woman who's charged with the murder of her lover, and I think it's trial based. I think the whole book is like based on her trial. It's won some awards already. I think it's Scottish, maybe, but I don't know that much going in. Like, as you usually know, I do not like to read too much about blurbs before going in, so I'm excited. I think it's historical fiction with this feminist kind of woman focused twist, and we're going to start this book now on my walk, so let's head out. So I did do a lovely walk this morning, listened to The Maiden. It was okay. It's actually quite a good start. I was a bit worried about it because I don't love historical fiction that's similar to this, where you're kind of, I don't know, like, you know, and it's saying, oh, it's like a feminist take on like history and like voices that have never been heard before. I always just think, oh, it's just going to be like a really sad story about something horrible that's happened to a woman, and then she's not believed, and then, you know, these men are terrible. And like, I've read so many books like that, do you know what I mean, where you're like, yeah, it was terrible, it was a terrible time to be a woman, and I already know that, do you know what I mean? But I have actually slightly more hope now I've read a bit more of it, because it's going to be more, I don't know, maybe more racy, maybe more like about the relationships. So far it's actually quite good. It's got lots of different perspectives as well, which is quite interesting. So I'm like 22% through that book. Right at the beginning of the book, you realise, or you know, that she has been sentenced to death. This noble woman who's called Lady Christian, she's been sentenced to death for killing her lover. Like, we know that the trial went against her. She's waiting for her like execution, and her execution will be done by something called the Maiden, which is basically this very it's like a, what they called guillotine. It's like a guillotine, this huge big guillotine thing. But you also go back in time to when she is like about 18, like experience with the marriage market and her sister getting married, and like you follow her like as her life as a noblewoman and her process to finding a husband. You follow another woman who has interacted with the person who is like the Lady Christian's been accused of killing. So I think it's going to be like, who did it, why did they do it, and what really went on. But we have a very clear villain in the sense that like the person who was killed, we know that he's a terrible guy. It's written well. I think even though it's historical fiction, I think it'll be more on the pacey, like plot focused vibe, rather than sometimes historical fiction can be very slow, well written, but you know, I'm just not really in the mood for it. I am back home and showered. Package drop off was a success, and now Tasman's coming over today. It's gonna be so cute. We're going to do a productive writing day, although I really need to be editing as well. So I'll be editing a YouTube video a bit, and then also getting some writing done. Tasman's here.
I'm here, and I'm alive, and I'm not at all sleepy.
We are chugging down some tea and coffee because we need the energy for this productive day. We're going to get loads done. We're going to do editing. We're going to do admin. We're going to do maybe writing if we get the other shit done.
We're going to do it all.
We're going to do it all, but we do need some caffeine first, which is fine. Hopefully I'm going to get a YouTube video up and a TikTok up. That's my bare minimum goal for the day. What's your like
That's huge.
Baseline? I know.
I want to get a couple TikToks edited. I've got a few that are pre-filmed.
Nice.
And I want to get a good chunk of my next YouTube video edited as
nice. Well. Is that the one with me?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You and Bex.
You're gonna love it.
So
Shaz for
hungry.
lunch. Getting, what are you having?
Lamb over chips.
Large.
Large.
Gyros. It's gonna be delicious. Oh my god, the wind.
I love your jumper so much. It's so cute.
It's from Wordy and Wild.
Wordy and Wild, yeah. They're on TikTok and Instagram, I think.
So nice. Oh my god.
What is it? Is it lamb and chicken on the chips?
That's a lamb. That's a chicken.
Good morning vlog. I actually can't remember the last thing I told you, but I think it was that I was starting the Maiden, and I am now like a third of the way through it. I'm just about to go on another walk and get another chunk through it. I'm enjoying it actually. I was worried it would be a little slow paced and a little dull, but I'm actually quite enjoying it. It's quite racy, which I think it was trying to be, so it's achieving it. And then the other thing I wanted to say is I just started the next Kindle book that I'm reading for this vlog. I've decided I'm going to go with Hangman, and I read some of it last night and a little bit this morning, so I'm at 10% in. So far it's basically this man who's gotten on a plane to go home and see his brother, but it's written in a very strange way. Like, this man has no idea what's going on at all, and neither do we. Like, he's come back to an unspecified African country after being away for like 20 plus years. It's written very strangely, like he doesn't know anything about life or like what's going on or who his family even is. So I have no idea what's going to happen with that one. I think it's going to be a very strange one, probably the most experimental that we've had so far. I look like a ghost because I've just put some foundation on, but I've been sitting here working. I have no real reading updates because I've been actually working all day. So unusual for me. Didn't do any reading at my lunch break or anything. But I'm going out tonight to the pub for a friend's birthday. And I already know another book that I'm going to be doing in this vlog. I think 3 of the books that we're going to be doing in this vlog are The Maiden, obviously, we've already started that. Hangman, which I'm already 10% through. And then I think after I finish The Maiden, the next one I'm going to listen to is River East, River West, because that's come in as an audiobook on my library. And then I don't know what the 4th book will be. We'll figure out. We'll decide depending on what I'm enjoying in terms of the rest of the vlog, because like if I'm hating all of these books, I might want to choose something very different. All right, I'm off to the pub. I may vlog when I get there, I may not. I'm a little bit late. What's new? So, but I might read a little bit on the way, or like listen to my audiobook, or read. Going all the way to North London, so you never know what's going to happen on the journey. Let's go to the pub. Woo! Morning vlog. Didn't vlog at all last night or this morning because I've been hungover, but I had a lovely time. And I am actually sitting here and reading, but I'm not reading anything for the Women's Prize. I'm giving myself a break with all these literary reads, and I really wanted to read a romance. And Emily Henry is just a reliable romance for me. I do really enjoy her romances. And so far, I'm actually really enjoying this one. From the plot, I thought that this one would be like my least favourite out of her concepts, because I don't love like a second chance romance, or at least I didn't think I did. But I'm enjoying how it's written, and it's like less convoluted than I thought it would be, because basically the concept is there's this couple and they were like best friends, like in a friendship group. They got together, they got engaged, but then they broke off their engagement and they broke up. But they do this like holiday every year with their best friends, and they hadn't told them yet that they were broken up. She was going to go and tell her 2 best friends. It turns out he's there because actually it's going to be a secret surprise wedding for one of their other best friends. So now they can't tell everyone that they're broken up because they don't want to ruin this wedding. I'm not like fully bought in on the couple. Harriet, the main girl, is a little bit bland to me compared to some of Emily Henry's other heroines, and Wynne is also a bit flat, I won't lie. I like the friendship group and I like the holiday vibes. That's very fun. And they're basically like being forced together and pretending they're still together, but they're not together. And I've been reading actually a chunk of it this morning. I'm on like page 140 145. Shouldn't even be reading it because I should be doing stuff for this vlog. I've made myself a very sweet iced coffee and it's actually reviving me. And I have managed to shower and like become a bit more of a human. But this is the situation for the rest of the day, so. Morning, beautiful people. Oh my God, I've just done very quick makeup and it looks a bit clownish. Please ignore. Didn't update much yesterday, but I did have a lovely day reading. Read this in a day. I liked it. I didn't love it. Not my favourite of hers. I kind of stayed disconnected from the main couple. Although I felt bad after what I said about him being boring, and then like his big insecurity in this whole book is the fact that he's boring. I was like, oh, oops, you kind of are, mate. Anyway, but that was really fun. It was a perfect hangover like book, because it's easy reading. It was fun. It was cute. I also randomly watched Silence of the Lambs yesterday, which was like quite harrowing, but it was quite fun. Tori, my friend, has got me into Letterboxd, so now I'm like working my way through my want to watch list. I love having a list. I love having challenge. I love working my way through something, as you can tell from this vlog. In terms of other reading updates, in terms of the Women's Prize, I have none. I'm going to get back to reading the Women's Prize at some point. But right now, I'm off to go and see my brother and my sister. I'm going to go to my brother's house for brunch. It's going to be absolutely delightful. Even though it's a rainy day today, we were supposed to go on a walk. I'm not sure if that's going to work now. The rain has stopped, so this will be a more pleasant cycle. I'm here now with Lola and Jojo. Hi! We're going to have cute brunch. Lawrence is cooking up a storm. Oh my God, look at what Lawrence has made us. What's your one? Chorizo, it's charred corn, and I've got fried eggs. They've got chorizo
and some avocado underneath.
and some avocado underneath. This is gonna be such a cute little brunch. And then I think we're also getting some French toast in a minute too. What would your restaurant be called, Loz, if you were doing a brunch spot?
The cockpit.
So bloody wholesome and delightful. Now it's time for course number 2. Having the most decadent French toast. Morning everyone. I'm out on my walk by the lake with the geese and the ducks. It's really cute. There's like, oh my God. Excuse me. It's just talking about you. Anyway, it's really cute. There's lots of like baby ducklings around us, but I wanted to do a little reading update. I have been reading The Maiden and also The Hangman. I've made some progress on both of them. I'm listening to The Maiden right now. I'm about 40% through now. I'm enjoying it actually, more than I thought it would. It's more like gossipy and salacious than traditional like historical fiction. I think sometimes with these books, like, I get worried that they're going to be just all about how horrible it is to be a woman and like about how difficult life is and about these horrible men. And I know it's realistic, but it's always the case that it's just these horrible stories about horrible men and women being like abused, especially with historical fiction, never ends up being happy. So that's why I'm like sometimes the stories like this a bit hesitant, but it's kind of more fun than I thought it would be. It's more about her kind of coming into herself and growing up and becoming like a woman with sexual wants and needs. I'm not like absolutely loving it, but I'm pleasantly surprised. And then the other book I've been reading is Hangman, roughly up to about 40% as well. And this is a weird book. It's very strangely written and it's quite hard to describe because it's just about this man and he's gone back to where the country he was born. He's been gone for 26 years. But like, it's almost written as if he's got amnesia or something, but like he hasn't, because he does tell you stuff about his life and he knows some stuff, but like he also just doesn't know anything about what's going on or where he is or who the people are that he's talking to, or like he'll like have these random conversations with different people and he won't understand anything about life or anything. It's just like really unusual, but then like other things are revealed and it's like, I don't know, it's written in a very strange way, so I'm kind of interested to see how that goes. But it does mean that I've been reading it. I'm actually quite enjoying it, like reading it quite quickly. Good morning vlog. It is another brand new day. I didn't vlog much actually. I haven't been vlogging the last couple days, but I have been reading. I'm like struggling today. I'm like on a struggle thing today. But I did want to show you this. I just got a new microphone and it's so fucking cute. I've never had a microphone before for YouTube videos or for anything. And so I've got one now and it's adorable. It's so cute and I feel so official. Like, imagine me sitting here, yappa yappa yappa, talking all about stuff. Cute, right? Anyway, that is fun. But also, I have been reading and I actually finished The Maiden the other day. And to be honest, I had higher hopes when I was halfway through than I did at the end. It had a very conventional ending and I feel like I was like, I don't know, this is kind of something that's been happening for this whole list so far. So I'm having high expectations because they're nominated, which means to me that they are like going to be something like above and beyond, and they've so far been very conventional books. Not bad. I had it with Night Bloom as well. Not a bad book, but nothing new. And the same again with The Maiden. Yeah, it was pretty fun, but like we also didn't even get that much character growth by the end. The main like Lady Christian character, she was kind of a shit all the way through and kind of to the end as well. And it just felt like really flat. The whole thing felt very flat, very conventional, which is a shame. But I didn't not enjoy it, so I'm giving it like a 3 stars, maybe a 2.5, but I kind of enjoyed it throughout. I just was left a bit wanting from the ending, so it was a 3-star for me. And in terms of Hangman, I read a bit more of this. This is on the other hand, is completely unconventional and it's very fun and it's very interesting, and I'm like, this is more the books that I was expecting, something that's strange, something that I would have never picked up or realised, but I picked up because of the Women's Prize, and I'm like, this is weird. You feel very distant from this narrator who is like travelling around now kind of trying to find his brother. But he tells you stuff and then you kind of like learn later that he maybe is lying, or like he doesn't realise stuff, or like maybe he's got amnesia, or like it's like very, very unreliable narrator, but in a very fun and unconventional way. And it's making lots of commentary on immigration and colonialism and moving back to a country after so many years and reconnecting with people and family and culture, that kind of thing. But it's doing it in a very interesting, unconventional way. So still enjoying that, but halfway through. So the third book for this vlog, I already decided, and the book that I'm going to be doing is River East, River West. I am going to start this. It's going to be my one to replace The Maiden on audiobook. It's coming from my library. This, I believe, is about a girl, half Chinese, half American. She's living in Shanghai with her American mother, and her American mother has just gotten remarried or married to someone, a Chinese man, and she hates her new stepdad. And she's kind of obsessed with like American culture because she's always lived in China. She like really wants to move to America, but like her mum doesn't want to go back or something like that. And I think it's going to be, I don't know, it sounds young adult to me. We'll see if it reads young adult, but I'm going to be starting that and I will give you an update when I have read a bit more. I actually did do some reading on my walk. I listened to about 30% of River East, River West. And it is like how I described previously. It's about this like 14-year-old girl. She's kind of like having an identity crisis. She's living in Shanghai as she becomes like obsessed with the idea of at least going to the American school there. And she tries to get her new stepdad to like let her go as well, like pay money to go. And I was honestly getting a bit bored of her perspective already. Like it's very young adult feeling. And I also don't like when teenagers are written like that they're just really annoying, you know, and they're just like, obviously like teenagers can be very selfish, but like she's very selfish and she's literally doesn't have any view of like anyone else's life experience apart from hers and like how hard her life is. Anyway, and we did get a switch perspective from the stepdads, him as a young man, and that was actually more interesting because I'm enjoying the like doubles perspective. But then just when I stopped, we went back to the teenager perspective again and she was even more annoying. So I'm not actually enjoying it too much so far. I'm going to persevere as usual. I've like committed to doing this, so I'm going to commit. Out of this vlog currently, Hangman is definitely being my favourite by quite a long way. The Maiden was fun but nothing exciting, and then 30% through River East, River West, and I'm like, not really. I don't know. I'm not loving it, so we'll see what happens with it basically. But yeah, I'm going to sit here and do some writing now and have a coffee because I'm so tired today. Excuse the hair and the fact that I am so gross and dusty. I've been pulling up all the carpet from my stairs. I'm still currently doing it, getting these like little spiky things off. But I've just finished, oh my god, I'm gonna sort this hair out. I have just finished this book, River East, River West, and I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I don't know, maybe I need to gather my thoughts first. I didn't like the way that it was told, even though it was like an interesting, my hair is wet, not greasy by the way. Even though it was an interesting topic to be explored, I didn't like the way it was being told. I found his story more interesting just because the teenage perspective, like, I just didn't like how she was written. Like, she's just quite irritating and really very selfish in terms of like her worldview was really intensely selfish. And it was nice in the end that she did like have a full character journey and like learn, but there wasn't quite enough there for me to be like emotionally holding on to. So this was like very in the middle. Another one for the Women's Prize that's very in the middle for me. So I gave this 3 stars, or like 2.5 again. Did not love it. I could see that this could like really be a touching story for some people, but for me, I don't know, there wasn't quite enough there. But I'd be interested to see what other people think of this one. Hello everyone. It feels like a long time since I've updated this vlog, but I hadn't decided what my 4th and final book was going to be for this vlog, and now I have decided, and it is going to be Enter Ghost. Enter Ghost is by Isabella Hammad, and I am really excited about this book because lots of people have said that this one was their favourite that they read so far from the Women's Prize Longlist. This I am listening to as an audiobook, and I am about 30% in, and I can already say I'm really enjoying it. It's got a really nice and easy writing style, but I'm very much intrigued by our characters so far. So basically this is a contemporary fiction book, but it is following a woman, and she has just kind of had a disastrous love affair, like something kind of bad has just happened in her. She lives in London, she works in the theatre, and so she's deciding to go back and visit her sister who lives in Palestine. So she goes there, she visits with her sister, and basically she gets like quite quickly involved in the theatre scene there as well, even though she's kind of supposed to be giving it a break. And she gets involved in this production of Hamlet, and they're going to be putting on this play in the West Bank in Palestine. I'm really enjoying how it's written so far. I really like our main character. She's like this quite like snarky character, and I always quite like a bit mean-spirited characters. She has kind of like a bit of an edge to her, and I'm also really enjoying how it's exploring her family history as well, and their relationship to Palestine as people who have never actually lived there, but her sister basically made the decision to go and move and live there as an adult even though they never grew up there, and kind of how she relates to her Palestinian identity, how she feels about the country, that kind of thing. It's really interesting so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm also really glad that this was nominated for the Women's Prize, because especially with everything going on in Palestine at the moment, it's just absolutely devastating, and I think it's just a great time to be highlighting and spotlighting on Palestinian authors and creatives and everything to do with that. So I'm happy to be reading this. I'm 30% in, and I'm about to go on a little walk and read even more of it. So I'll update you. I'll probably get to about the 50% mark maybe today. So I will update you with how that's going. But so far, so good. Really enjoying it. I can't say it's my favourite one yet, but it's like definitely up there on first impressions. So we shall see how it continues. Also, because I'm doing these videos, I reached out to some of the publishers who are doing the Women's Prize, and I managed to get sent a couple of the books. So I got sent this one, In Defense of the Act. I'll be doing this in the next vlog. And I also was sent these 2 books. So I've already read these both. This is Soldier Sailor and Night Blue. From my walk now, and I got to 57% of this audiobook, and I'm really enjoying it as well. I'm liking how acting is really incorporated to talk about emotions and like how you're feeling emotions in your body, and how she's working through situations and how she's incorporating that with the acting. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I don't know where it's going to go, and I don't think it'll have like a kind of set plot, because it's very much like quite a slow and like exploratory story. And I'm currently making some lasagna. It's a lentil lasagna, so hold on, let me just show you. I'm like batch cooking, so this is like courgette and carrot and onion chopped up very fine. And then I add in lentils later and the chopped tomatoes and do it
as a little layered lasagna thing. So I made banana bread earlier today because I had some bananas left over. It doesn't look that inspiring. It's pretty flat because my tin was too big, but it tastes pretty good. This is what the veggie lentil ragu kind of looks like. I'm gonna let this sit for a while longer though. The longer I leave it, the better it is, so I just have to practice patience. Almost forgot to show you the finished product. This is the lasagna. I've had taken a bite with some salad and garlic bread and watching Interior Design Masters.
Good morning, everyone. I'm sitting here having a green tea with honey that's absolutely delicious, and I am today going to finish off Enter Ghost. So I'm at 75% through this book. I've been listening to it on audiobook through Spotify, but then my hours ran out, so I started reading it on my Kindle, and then now my hours are back. So I'm going to go on a walk and listen to the last hour of the audiobook. And I'm really been enjoying this one. It's been really good, and this is another one that I'm like, this is more like what I was expecting from the Women's Prize, and I think it's doing something really interesting. It's telling a story you don't often hear. It's really culturally like relevant now, politically relevant, and I just think that like this is one of the books that I'm like really happy is on the list and that I'm reading. I've been really enjoying it. It's really well written, really interesting characters, and it's kind of a slow story. It's not got a typical plot. It's basically about just trying to put on this play within a very politically unstable environment. It's a lot about Palestine and the history of Palestine, and specifically like through the lens of your main character and like her family and her family history. But I think it's really well done. It's so windy, but all the blossom trees are like shedding blossom, which is very cute. This is where the swans sleep. Aren't they cute? They're making a nest. I'm gonna try and check up on the babies. The baby geese are so much bigger now. It's a Sunday, so they've got lots of fans today, so I can't get very close. See how much they've grown? There's 5 of them. Welcome to the end of the vlog, where I'm going to be wrapping up my thoughts on all 4 of the books that I read in this Women's Prize challenge vlog. I realised I think I lost a clip where I finished off talking about Hangman. So before I go into my ranking for this video, I'll just tell you quickly how I felt about Hangman and Enter Ghost. Hangman I really enjoyed as a book, but I did take a big break halfway through because I was just finding it a little bit of hard work. But I really liked what it did with the ending, and I liked that there was so much ambiguity in what the story was doing and what you could take from it and what the author was trying to tell you. You could just take it in so many different directions, and I really like that. I like a well done ambiguous ending, and that really had it. So I really enjoyed how it ended, and it kind of like pushed it up actually further. I think I rated this a 4.25 stars in the end. And then with Enter Ghost, I did this as a 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed Enter Ghost. I felt it was really emotional. I really connected to the characters. I loved the main character. I loved that she was also like an older protagonist, kind of in her late 30s, and she was still trying to figure out life and how she connects with her sister and all of the family side of it. I also think using the play and using Hamlet was done really well, and this one was really good. It was very emotional. I thought it was very well done, and I really enjoyed Enter Ghost. So for my ranking for this video, there was 2 great books and 2 okay books, but my ranking for this vlog so far was top is Enter Ghost. I loved this book. I really liked how it ended. I loved the themes explored, and I think it was really well done. Next up was Hangman, a weird one. It was strange, and it was almost at some points a bit impenetrable. I really had to focus on this story, but I'm really glad I read it, and I'm excited by what that book was trying to do. Then we have The Maiden, which was fine. It really got let down by the ending, in my opinion. Didn't have anything else going for it, but also kind of on the same level is River East, River West. I thought this one had a great premise, and it might really work for some people, but just like certain aspects of the writing style did not work for me, and so like this was just like the last one on my little ranking. But maybe I'll also do a ranking for all of the 8 books that I've so far read
for these two vlogs combined. So for my wider list, this is where we stand, and I'm gonna go worst to best, I think, because I'm less sure on like where they kind of land at the bottom of this list, because a lot of them I feel very similarly about, but I think right at the bottom for me is Western Lane with the 2 stars. I didn't get much from this book at all. And then one step up from Western Lane, I would put also Night Bloom, River East, River West, and The Maiden are all in like the 2.5, 3 star kind of realm. And if I was absolutely forced to rank them, I would do Night Bloom, then River East, River West, and then The Maiden. But they're very close in like how I experience the books. And then one up from that, we have Soldier Sailor. This was a 4-star read from me. I really enjoyed this book, and I think it was very, very powerful, but the topic it was covering wasn't powerful for me personally. It didn't connect to me, even though it was very well done. Next up, we have Ordinary Human Failings, which was close to a 5 stars for me. I really enjoyed this one, and I really liked how it was written, and it was a slightly more playful story with how it was playing with the characters and the concept of ordinary human failings, and I just really enjoyed reading this one. But then right up at the top, as closing out almost 5 stars, are Hangman and Enter Ghost. I just think these are a lot more what I would expect from the Women's Prize Longlist. Not only are they well written and they're talking about themes and topics that are so relevant right now, but they're also telling the story in an interesting way from perspectives that you don't often hear from, or in a very stylistic way in the way of Hangman. So this is my current ranking for the Women's Prize Longlist. I'll be so interested to see if anyone else has read any of the Women's Prize lists, how my ranking kind of fits in with yours, because there's so many different ways you could rank these books based on like your own personal preferences. And if you've read more than one, then please leave a little ranking down below in the comments, because I would love to know. And stay tuned for vlog number 3. I've already started reading the books for vlog number 3. It's going to be another interesting one. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and comment and subscribe and watch all my other videos, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye!